need at least 2 multi-slots. After we rise. Now if we prepare ourselves more Darksiders. And if I bore you too long with the intro, let's get started.
Mahag Saar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. They try to...
Let's dispose of the trash.
Luna Rondo! Mirage! Blazing Thrust!
Glacier Spear! Pierce Evil! If they rush you gotta jump for cover, okay? Pierce Evil!
You're mine!
Freeze Lantern!
Lightning Thrust! Luna Rondo!
Arc Seal!
Mirage! Be still! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Stardust!
I'll be saving you!
Eat this!
Here's
Lightning Thrust!
I'm not good at that.
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Shut up.
What's this thing?
little help!
Dazzle! Stardust! Luna Rondo! This one's all mine! Not today! Come on! Dazzle!
Where are you going?
Stardust!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
Mirage!
Pierce Evil! Freeze
The
Lantern!
Dragon Shell! Lightning Thrust! Can't get out of this! Big Blast! Stardust!
Sleep now!
Do it!
It's over! Lightning!
Take this!
Dragon!
Watch this!
You're
mine!
Thunderblast!
Be still!
I'm all stuffed up.
Mirage!
Annihilate!
Do it.
Neon! Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go!
Everyone hanging in there?
Hoo hoo hoo!
They won't pay.
Hoo! Hoo hoo hoo! Hoo! Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Ow!
You got company!
Dazzle!
Got you!
Take this!
Power of water!
Dazzle! Swallow Dance!
Thunder Field!
Mirage!
Raging Cascade!
Lightning Thrust!
Breath!
Charge like that could
We're on
easily
the home
be
stretch
fatal.
now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Lightning Orb! Burning Showtime!
Luna Rondo!
Spear! Pierce Evil!
Dragon
Down
Shell!
the wind!
Here
Sleep now!
I come! It's
War
over!
for the Tower!
You're mine!
Light
It's
Astral
over!
Energy! Up and out! Let's go!
You're mine! You're finished!
Mega Ray!
In a bind?
Now!
Talon Hurricane!
Demon's Descent!
Flashing Fang!
Carlos City to 3.
With my comrades, I'm unstoppable.
And what about without them?
More stoppable?
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
hope we catch something decent.
Indeed. Hungry bellies are counting on this. Ha! Looks like I lost it. I've got a good feeling about this one. Ugh. 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 This fish is way bigger than I was expecting.
Oh yeah!
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me.
Not for everybody.
Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Oh, that's over.
Okay!
Speak to you. Ah, come on.
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Why are you so rude? It's too tense.
Hey! Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Yep.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Aduh, kayaknya semua nih. Forge Grove. Aduh, dah teman. Crap, so this set. Wait. Let him selling the stuff. Why is stuff expensive?
Did we really just spend that much money?
This is it.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
The yells are always low. Definitely need to rest.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomach ache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training, too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot. It's nothing to get sad over. Then again, I wish I'd had more time to talk. Night! You guys ready to hit the road? I know I am.
Hey, we're going to now. Three rounds are done now.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
That enemy looks strong.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm...
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danins in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danins in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I'm like bait to them.
Don't mind if I do. I'm also good with
You
airborne
picked the wrong fight!
Now you see what I can do. Flying freak. Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Take this! I'm on it! You're finished! You're mine!
Dance in the wind!
Squeeze out into group.
I'm not done! Stardust! Here I come! It's over! Be still!
Solo dance.
Lunar Rongo!
Where are you going?
Here I come!
Do it. Run well. Demon's Descent. Flashing bang.
Easy! Way to go!
You're finished!
I'm all stuffed up!
Here I come! It's time! Lunar Rongo! You're on! It's time! Lunar Rongo!
What a relief!
Swallow Blade! Not today!
Glacial
Take this!
Spear! Here's the evil!
You're finished!
Do it! Dolan! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Lightning!
Swallow Dance!
I'm out of
Here
ammo!
I come!
Can't get out of this.
Dragon Swarm!
Do it.
Law! Get toasty!
Burn strike.
I can feel my precision improving.
This is weird.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my art.
If he slows down, that's our chance! Here I
It's
come!
like trying to keep up with
Be
a wall!
still! Dragon Shout! Stardust!
Here's the
Prepare to be seized! It's over!
Take this.
You're mine!
Supernova!
You're finished!
Dance in the wind!
Dragon Swarm!
Here's the evil!
Oh, now you're talking.
This one's a pretty
In a
laser.
vine, I'll run you through.
You're mine!
Talon Hurricane.
You require help.
Dragon Swarm!
No further.
Thunder Peal!
Here I come!
Up and in! Let's go! There you go! Don't let up! More for the stockpile!
Take this.
Here I come! You're finished!
Yeah. Catch it out of this. Take this.
On field!
Stardust!
No further.
Lunar Rongo!
I'll finish you here and
Dragon
here.
Swarm! You're mine!
I'll run you through.
Be still!
Glacial Spear!
It's
Here's
over!
the evil!
Now or never!
Hurricane.
In here! More for the stockpile!
In a vine.
Gemini Alpha!
Flaming Thrust! Swallow Dance! You're up!
Magna Ray!
Thrust! Dragon Shout!
Raging Cascade!
Dragon Swarm!
One more time!
All yours, Kisara.
Take it!
Into the shadows!
Eat this!
Lightning!
Hurricane!
Photon Flash! Raging Cascade!
Searing Flame!
Eat this! By me! First strike! Slap! Flaming
Lightning
throw!
Condemned!
Mirage!
Talon Hurricane!
Be still! Mirage! Dazzle!
Now!
Let the marksman handle this!
Mega Ray!
I'm on! You're mine!
Not on my watch!
Do it!
Finish! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all.
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
What's this thing?
Life?
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know
Not
if you
today.
need healing.
I can carve through armor! First strike!
Where are you going?
Talon Hurricane!
get out of
Duel
this.
beyond! Annihilation!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for you, truly.
Annihilation!
By the power of water.
Dragon denied! Slow dance! I'll crush you! lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
You got something!
I'll run you through!
Leave the enemy's arc free!
No complaints here!
Take this! It's on! Burn in hell! Dragon Swarm! Here I come!
Do it!
Finish! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Lightning!
Eat this!
In here! Spirit Flame! Reload together!
Do you require a hand?
Mirage!
Mega Ray!
Take this! Talon
Be
Hurricane!
still!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
That's
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Here's the Arc Seal!
Lightning Thrust!
Confiscated!
Stardust!
Airborne Beast! My
Mirage!
Let them Photon!
You're
Blazing
mine!
Cascade! This
Got
one's
flyers.
mine! I've got this! Let him mark me!
You pick the one, all yours!
Armor won't save you!
Spirit Flame! Reload!
Do it!
I'll be
Reload!
saving this! Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
I'm just not!
Castle!
Lightning!
Dragon Shell!
Here,
Be
let me
still!
go! Lightning! Raging
I owe you one!
Cascade!
Damn it!
Blast!
Swallow Blade!
This is the
Try
wind
this!
cycle! Air
Infernal
thrust!
Torrent! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc!
My turn! Strike!
First aid!
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right.
Lightning orb!
Mirage!
Searing flame! Into the wind! Air thrust! With this, I can become even stronger. It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're mine!
Take this!
Lightning Thrust! This one's all mine!
Hey, let's break it, Justin!
Here goes Raging
Mirage!
Cascade!
Dragon Swarm!
handle this. Sleep now.
Castle!
I run the only one!
Far enough!
What a relief! The enemy will us too!
You'll soon see them.
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Way to go!
It's time! You picked the wrong fight!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Take it! One more!
Shattering up pieces!
You're mine! Mirage! I'm not done!
One more Raging Cascade!
I'll end this! Now
Here I come! You're
Get
mine!
on in there with the others!
Castle! Mirage!
Lightning orb! Alright, it's showtime!
Take this!
Air
It's
thrust!
over! Lightning Thrust!
Do it!
Mirage! Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
No.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
I'll run you through! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nice one, Alphen.
Yeah, there's more where that came from. This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing. In here. I'll be saving this one.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
No, that'd be silly.
Eat this!
I'm on it. Far enough. They got me flanked.
Now let loose.
Pieces. Attack block.
Prepare to be steamed, though.
Now you see what I can do.
Let's hop in more doing.
Blue escape!
That's my cue.
I keep dying. Oh, no.
Shut him down! Slash! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help?
Ha! Strike! Here I come!
Do it! Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Here I go. Light Astral Energy!
Here I
Away!
This time! Ha!
Here, let me help.
Ay,
Eat
Light
dirt!
Astral Energy! Dance in the wind!
I'm not done!
Sleep now. Here! Lightning Spirit! Burning!
Lightning thrust!
Where are you going?
Ready to go.
Lunar Rondo! I'll heal you all! Do it! Sion! Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go!
Take this!
I'm only getting
You're
started.
finished.
Field! Annihilate on it there
Dazzle.
together! Mega Red!
Lunar Rondo!
What you
You're finished!
Here, let me help.
Here I come!
Anything in armor is all
Be
mine.
still! Do it! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
this is...
How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No! There's always room for improvement.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they... I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Prepare to be seen. Take this. Now you see what I can do.
Not today! I'm on it! Here I come! Dazzle!
Lightning Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer.
Gemini Ultra!
First strike!
It's far enough.
Supernova! Raging
Here I
Cascade!
come! I'm not done!
You're
You're mine! You're on! Dazzle!
Light Astral Energy!
Blue escape!
Light Astral...
I'm not done!
Rise and rend!
Blue escape!
Never miss!
It's over!
Now!
Right there!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Oh, that's annihilated.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
No backing down! Here I come! Dazzle! This one's all mine!
The earth throbs in
Freeze
pain.
Lancer!
You're finished! Can't get out of this!
Ready!
Eat this!
Elton!
You're mine!
Not in your dreams!
Crush! I'll smash you!
Sleep now.
I owe you one.
Now see that you don't get in trouble again.
We turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Dazzle!
Feel no ammo.
Swallow blade! You're my...
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this. Deus Roar! Photon Flash!
Dazzle!
I never miss.
You're on!
Let's go lightning
Dragon Storm!
Now, get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Now!
Already on.
Crush! Burn! I'm on the path to be seen! Here I come! Do it! Big blast!
All yours, Kisara.
Not again! No escape! You're done!
Into the shadows!
Luna Rondo!
I think I'm getting stronger. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I'm not done!
No further.
Flaming thrust! Be still! Here I come! I can carve through armor! Here I come! It's over!
Here! Get on in there with the others!
You're mine!
Leave the charging to me!
Far enough!
Dazzle!
Lightning orb!
Burn it down! Swallow blade!
Sleep now!
Do it! Swallow Dragon Sword! Dazzle!
Dance in the wind!
I'm not...
I can do this all
You're
day!
on strike! Take this! Hurricane! It's over!
Here's the evil!
It's over! Dragon Swarm! I'm on it! Hurricane! You're mine!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Just rest everybody.
Certainly not bad.
No complaints here.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! It's over!
In a bind?
I'm only getting started!
Dragon Swarm!
Here I go!
Swallow blade!
I'm only
Lightning
getting
thrust!
Arctic!
It's
This
on!
one's mine!
Swallow blade! Be still!
I'll handle it!
You're on!
Light astral energy! Let's go!
Attack time! Burn! Now! Do it!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Did you hear it? thrust!
Dance in the
Mirage!
wind!
I'll smash you!
Air thrust!
It's over!
Here! Like astral energy!
Rollerblade! Slide! Dragon shell!
Raging Captain!
Rollerblade! Dragon
Here!
shell!
More for the stockpile! Here
Swallow
goes!
dance! Flaming thrust! Thrust! Mirage! It's over!
Lightning orb! Arc steel! Searing flame! Reload!
Be still! Start up! First strike!
Lightning!
Mirage!
Do it! More where that came from!
Don't get complacent.
There's a lot of button.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Looks like trouble with capital T.
Together we got this! You're finished!
Can't get out of this.
Glacial
You
Steel.
are Pierce evil! Lightning condemn!
Lightning thrust!
Thunder Confiscate! Meteor!
Lightning thrust!
They're surrounding us!
Mirage!
It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go!
Here I come! You're finished! Mirage! Swallow blade! I'm on a roll now! Infernal turret! Dragon sword! Rapid hurricane!
I never miss!
Here I come! You're finished! Lightning thrust! Mirage!
Here! Radiant!
Enough done!
Here!
Do it! Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done! Like astral energy! Alright,
These games are so complicated.
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Shut up.
I think Hoodle's hungry.
Funny. I could have sworn that was your stomach making all the racket.
There.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that.
Get lost!
Take this! Be still!
In here!
Prepare to be seized! Lightning thrust! Mirage!
Can't get out of this.
Lightning orb! Alright!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'll smash
you! Dazzle!
Leave the chargers to me.
Lightning thrust!
I'm just getting.
Don't mind if I do!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
Blah, 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 magic!
You're mine. Leave now.
Obliterate, Indy!
Take this!
Meteor!
You're finished!
Swallow
blade!
Air!
Ah, Thor!
Lightning condemned!
Here I come!
Thunderblade!
Dazzle! Lunar Rondo! Mirage! I owe you one.
Far enough. I'm on it. I'll end
Back
you.
Oi, Christian.
I never miss!
Lightning thrust! It's time!
Eat this.
Lunar Rondo!
Hurricane.
Mirage! You're prepared to be seized!
Do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Out the game.
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
dispose of the trash.
Lightning thrust!
Take this!
Luna Rondo! Ignite!
Laser shock!
Here's the evil.
Mirage!
Here goes! Freeze blast! Don't mind if I do.
Stardust!
Resonate with anything in armor is all mine! Now you see what I can do!
Tiger blade!
No escape! Lightning thrust!
Glacial spear!
Come and
Here's
face
evil.
me! Begin! Take this!
Elusive deity!
I don't
Take
know you
this!
all! Tiger blade!
You're mine!
with
More
the
than
earth.
enough for now!
You're helping me
Let them
escape.
mark.
It's for the good of all of us.
Tiger blade! Over there! It's over! Here, do it!
Guard down!
Luna Rondo!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that
Swallow
thing.
blade! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Gemini Ready!
You're finished! Lightning thrust!
Elusive deity!
Mirage!
Begin!
Lightning thrust!
Gemini Aqua!
You're mine!
You're mine! It's over!
Now we're not...
Lightning
Do
thrust!
it!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Does anyone else think this may be just a bit too tough for us?
Ah, crap.
Get lost!
In a bind?
I can't heal you forever! Don't mind if I do!
I won't save you! You're mine!
Ignite!
Leave the agile ones to me.
Mirage!
Into the
Take this!
shadows!
Elusive deity!
Lightning thrust!
Begin!
Annihilator blade!
Mirage!
Like moths to the flame.
Elusive deity!
Nothing gets by me! Burning strike! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! This one's mine!
Elusive deity! Can you take it?
Piercing roar!
Take this!
Dragon
Blow
Claw!
back!
Art expert coming through!
Stardust!
Elusive
Make
deity!
it way!
Begin!
Jolene! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
Elusive deity!
Going in!
Thank you! You're throwing.
Plenty left!
Eat
Tiger
this!
blade! Magna ray!
Strike!
Elusive deity! I'm ready!
Mirage! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Sight! House this!
Resonate with the
Look
earth!
sharp!
Lightning thrust!
I'm gone! Take this! Flush!
Swallow blade!
This one's
Try
mine!
this! Infernal strike! You're finished!
This one's mine!
Be still! Take this! You're finished!
Make it rain!
Jolene! In an instant! Impact block!
Okay, karo.
Skills in top form, art's working like a charm. Ha!
Someone seems rather pleased with herself.
You... Did you hear all of that? Looks like some solid equipment.
No.
What's that big tower over there?
I hate camping out.
Oh, you can get there.
Guess I'll polish up my sword.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives. So it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol. The one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Not this way, I guess. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Yep.
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our...
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't...
Nevertheless, I shall... Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach...
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all...
If you say so. Although I suppose my first task...
You're not gonna let this go.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
That's wrong with this chick.
Been looking for you. For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Here goes!
Enjoy. Go, try harder! Now!
I'll distract you!
Take this.
Annihilate! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Can't move! Who the hell are you?
Don't leave me all alone here.
Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Guess I had to use it somehow.
Enjoy. Swallow blade! Heal! Okay, here I am. Fall. Lightning steel! Start up! No further!
Take it!
Mirage! Fall.
This one's Here's a healing art!
I'll face you.
Resonate with the earth.
Ignite!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
Resonate with the earth.
I let my guard down!
I couldn't make it in time.
Searing Blade! Reload! I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Begin!
Resuscitation!
Try harder! Swallow blade!
Arnek, you're coming through!
Fall.
This one's mine.
Here I come!
Look like those fields! What is evil? Freeze! Grind and rip! Light up the dark! This one's mine!
Fall.
Annihilation! Mega Ray! Annihilation! This can't be happening! Come on!
You have to hold.
A new leaf on life!
Resonate with the earth.
Take this!
Dragon
Lightning meteor! Reload! I'm out! I'm all stuffed up!
I can carve through armor. Denied.
Not
Show
today!
me your strength.
Going in. Take.
No way you can fight demons. He's already been using his power. Oh, one.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I.
Wow, that's unexpected.
It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought you
I'm
were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Saar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renan district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renan Astral Arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings, it said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell... Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yeah.
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble.
I see.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it...
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't...
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically...
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair...
She sounds like his mom, rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old...
What do you intend to do with...
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping... Did I?
Next time, put your...
Oh, well guys, let us end it right here. Till next time. Bye.